Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Back Truther, 1776, and we're here with some news for you. In the 29th day of September, 2013, I've just got a few things I'd like to go over with you guys. Well, to start off with, the thing that's on everybody's mind is the government shutting down on the 1st of October. I've got some information on that, not too much, considering I just started looking into it today. But as of the 1st, the government is shutting down because Obama's and his minions' ability to not come up with anything to keep that from happening. So we are shutting, that's going to shut down, most likely. Actually, it's pretty much set in stone at this point. But I've got a little quote from Obama back on about a week ago. And this is a quote. I shit you not. Alright. Obama on the debt ceiling. And I quote, "Now, this debt ceiling, I want to remind you, everyone," he stutters while he does this, "in case you haven't been keeping up, raising the debt ceiling, which has been done over 100 times before, does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy. All it does is says is that you have to pay the bills that you've already racked up, Congress. It's a basic function in making sure the full faith and credit of the United States is preserved." And I've heard people say in the past there's been negotiations about raising the debt ceiling. It's always tough, though, because the average person thinks that raising the debt ceiling will inevitably raise the debt. So people don't like to vote on it, and typically there's some gamesmanship in terms of making the president's party shoulder the burden of taking the vote. Barack Obama. Now, that's just one talking point in which I want to cover today. I won't make it too long, I don't want to waste too much of your time, but I just want to get some major things done here. That's him. I'd like to go over the fact that raising the debt ceiling does in fact raise the debt, because if it didn't, as he said, we've raised it 100 times before, if it didn't raise the debt, then we wouldn't have to raise it again, or the last 99 times after the first time, because raising the debt ceiling doesn't raise the debt, apparently. So, I would like to just point out that he's the biggest moron I've ever heard saying, raising the debt ceiling doesn't raise the debt. And I think you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm saying. Biggest moron I've ever heard. But on that note, passing of Obamacare is happening Monday, and that goes in with the martial law. It's supposed to be coming in on October 1st and or around, because of the government shutting off. But that also comes in point with the passing of Obamacare. There's going to be door-to-door medical examinations, shall you say, just collect medical history. But there are rumors that there will be armed guards coming around forcing you to do this. And that goes along with DHS purchasing over 16 million bullets of hollow points and millions of other kinds of bullets, for which they have not released the reason. Now, I'd like to present the fact that they're trying to close down or push more gun control. Sorry, I'm a little out of it. Passing more gun control because of the Navy Yard shooting. But as some of you may know, some of you may not, that the Navy Yard was a gun-free zone, as is the entire D.C. area. So, that means that nobody was able to stop him because there was no guns. And that, but we need to ban guns because there's a crazy guy that went berserk in the Navy Yard in D.C., killed, I think it's, what, 16 people? 13, 16 people? Somewhere there. But on a Navy Yard where nobody has guns, this crazy guy had top secret clearance to get through, was able to get in, kill 16 people, and eventually get killed by cops. Now granted, there's conspiracies going around that he was targeted by extremely low frequency weapons, or on his gun, he sketched in my ELF weapon. ELF standing for extremely low frequencies, going back to the time of MK Ultra, and when the CIA and other parts of the government tried to push in some mind control. And this mind control, this is all admitted. This is not just me pulling stuff out of my rear end. MK Ultra is a thing. Look it up. MKULTRA. MK Ultra. It's as it is. All caps, no spaces. MK Ultra. Also known as Project Monarch. But that's beside the point. That turned out to be 13, 16 casualties. I'm not sure what the exact number is. But then there was the shooting in Kenya, which Obama is also trying to push to get more gun control. But what the media and him failed to mention is that there was a Irish ex-Marine or military member that went in along with a British or UK ex-Marine, each one of them saving over 100 lives because they were armed. Okay, the rest of the people that were in there were not armed. The Al-Qaeda that took over the mall were armed, obviously, and planned it for a couple days. So, that being said, guns save lives. It's just about who uses them is how it is done. How many good people do you see versus how many psychotic people do you see? And I don't mean good as in like great Samaritans. I'm talking good as in not wanting to kill people. Like not wanting to harm another human being. How many people do you see that just, you know that if you saw them they would do something to help, or at least promote safety in the community? I would say for every 100 people, there's one psychotic person. I would guarantee you that this psychotic person is on some sort of SRI, serotonin rehab, or reintake inhibitor, that is known on the labels to cause side effects may cause suicide and or wanting psychopathic and or murderous behavior. In the last 2 years, the major shooters, these big mass shooting type people that shot up schools, shot up movie theaters, shot up this Navy Yard, shot up malls, they were all on SRIs, Prozac, any of that type, paroxetine that I am on personally, and I don't take it anymore, obviously, because I'm prescribed to it, but I'm supposed to take it, but I don't. And it's not, I don't know, I'm digressing from what I want to do here. One point I would like to make before we close off, because I'm sure I just ranted for a good couple moments, is that Nancy Pelosi wants to come out and tell everybody that you are not a journalist, you are not protected by SHIELD laws, unless you are a professional journalist under a corporation that is paying you. That is a complete attack against our First Amendment. First Amendment states that we have the right, I can't quote it because I don't know it exactly, but I know that it protects freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and peaceful assembly, of course. But she can't just come out and say, well, the First Amendment only protects some people, because that is like saying the Fourth Amendment only protects some people. The Fifth Amendment only protects some people. The Second Amendment only protects some people. It's not right. It's not viable to the Constitution. What she has said is completely unconstitutional, but people are so freaking dumbed down that they don't care enough to challenge or even think about what these monsters up on Capitol Hill are talking about. And it's so sickening that she comes out and says that 16-year-old bloggers, people like Alex Jones or Matt Drudge, are not covered by, and me and any other independent media. I'm not calling myself independent media because I'm new and I'm not actually have any sort of payment. I'm just doing this on my own free time. But just to come out and say that these people are not covered by these shield laws. That means if some independent blogger like RT or Jones or I think Matt Drudge is covered just because he's gotten really public. But Adam versus the Man. Anybody who's an independent blogger, independent media, anybody like that is not covered by shield law. Therefore, if they break something, if somebody comes to them to, let's say, leak something, they cannot, or the government can therefore go to that media and demand and lawfully, not constitutionally, but lawfully, there's a difference, I should say legally and lawfully are two different things. Lawful is following the law of the land, also known as the Constitution, based off the Magna Carta from the original British documentations. But, and then legal is things that are swerving around the Constitution that they can construe and twist into any way that they want to make it legal. But they can do this legally, not lawfully, of going into that independent media and demanding the source that either wants to stay anonymous or you're choosing to keep them anonymous so that that person is either safe or does not get in trouble for what they do. That being said, people like Chelsea Manning, also formerly known as Bradley Manning, I'm sorry, people like that would get into trouble instantly, and the independent media wouldn't be able to publish that beforehand. So they wouldn't be able to actually come out, and therefore there would be more secrecy, which we know is not appropriate in the first place because it's just the fundamental right of the people, especially in a republic, to know what is going on in this country. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that we need to stand up against these tyrants. We need to stand up against these people that are killing us slowly with the fluoride, with the vaccines, with the GMO, everything that is happening. I demand you to go check out Alex Jones. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you don't like his stance on things. Listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. He's a little unorthodox, but he knows stuff. And he is more important than, everybody in this movement is important, but nobody as important as Alex. He is the father of the 9/11 Truth Movement. He is the father of pretty much this entire movement, and he is getting so much crap from the mainstream media that we need to support him. I want to direct you guys to the real Alex Jones, or the Alex Jones channel, either via Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, and follow him, listen to him, and get the apps, do everything. And I'd just like to leave you guys, I didn't get into everything that I wanted to, but I'll be back soon. I wanted to leave you guys with stand up. Everybody that does this needs to make their own blog, whether you're left, right, independent, libertarian, constitutionalist, anything that you want. Stand up, express your voice, show your First Amendment, because they're slowly trying to take that away from you. You're more like, they use the excuse from terrorists, like, oh no, Al-Qaeda's killing people, I'm going to take your rights to keep you safe. But when in reality, bee stings kill more people than terrorists per capita. And anyways, I'm going on a rant now, and I don't want to do this. So I'm going to leave you with that, and good night. Peace be with you, brother. And like, favorite, subscribe, comment. Please comment any. Please comment any advice that you want to give me, and get to any of this. So, yep. Peace be with you, brother.